Previously on Reformation of the Deadbeat Noble, our hero shattered the cursed throne, survived the blood-soaked arena, and unleashed the system. But the enemy's true nightmare looms, threatening the kingdom's very soul. And now, the wall fell and the siege roared on. At dawn, Mick slashes his blade, his soldiers slouching in shame. He claws at the looming expedition deadline, muscles burning with fatigue. A horn blares, the army surges forward. The Lord summons his council, demanding the expedition crush the monster threat. Nobles scorn the warning, calling it ancient myth.
If we fail, beasts will flood the streets. A sudden shout erupts, forcing every hand to grip a sword.
Irene strides forward, eyes blazing, demanding purpose over pride.
Expeditions serve the kingdom. The Lord sneers. Just a status parade. Sir Zuckran snorts. Another hollow display. A messenger rushes in, eyes flickering, warning that a monster breach looms.
Sir Zuckran, can you do that too?
Sir Zuckran narrows his eyes, hungry to prove his skill as the Lord's impatience darkens the air. He grips his blade, steps forward, vowing to handle the task. The training line tightens, his confidence drawing a sharper stare. Will his gamble succeed? The Lord erupts. You wretch, the deadline looms. Stop your chatter. He demands instant obedience, but soldiers' jokes echo. He slams his fist on the post, forcing formation. Fear spikes, yet resentment burns hotter. Can his fury finally unite the troops? A scribe hurriedly marks 11/ in the training log, trying to tally chaotic minutes. He craves order, yet clamor roars. One trainee mutters that without his impossible dream, he'd abandon the path. The confession hangs heavy, hinting that doubt may crack the resolve of even the fiercest aspirants. Ruru watches the dawn drills, eyes scanning Mick's stance, seeking proof of his promised reform. Exhaustion gnaws at her, yet the Lord's reputation fuels her focus. She notes a trembling grip. What will she do next? Irene steps forward, voice sharp, demanding the Lord honor his oath to finish the sword path before year's end. Pride blocks his compliance, but her stare pierces doubt. He clenches fists. What will he decide?
My lord, you must keep your promise.
Marcus brandishes the cat eye, aiming to sell its power for gold. He hopes to fund his expedition. Mick questions its value, fearing deceit. Marcus boasts it could buy a quarter of per IRA's territory. The crowd's greed spikes.
A cat eye? Marcus, this costs a quarter of per IRAs.
If that price holds, the kingdom's wealth could crumble. Mick eyes the gift, hoping it boosts his reputation. He wants the Lord's favor. Pride still pricks him, making thanks feel like surrender. He nods, thanks, and his standing tightens as the Lord watches. He pets the sleek cat, feeling a rare calm amid chaos, and declares his fondness aloud, ignoring surrounding tension. The cat purrs, momentarily easing his restless heart.
I like this cat, truly.
Will this simple bond survive the looming betrayal? He thrusts the offering toward Irene, begging her to sway Kieran in his favor, promising loyalty. Irene eyes the gift, skeptical of his motives. She accepts, but the price looms heavy.
Anyway, Irene, take this and put in a good word for me with Kieran.
What will Irene demand in return for that priceless favor? Irene stands over Mick, eyes blazing, demanding proof he values the cat-eye jewels. Lord forces the dawn drill, demanding absolute focus. Irene strives to appear composed while nerves shake. Sir Zuckran mocks, but the looming curse on Kieran stalls everyone. A hidden blade flashes, promising blood. The Lord demands dominance, needing a decisive clash to silence doubts. The chaotic sunrise field hinders focus, so he bellows, "Op!" Steel erupts, bloodlust ignites, allies tremble. Will the sudden roar drown the whispered curse lingering nearby? Mick claws at his failing technique, yearning for a path forward. The missing mentor blocks his progress, so he mutters, "How I supposed." His shoulders slump, the crowd's doubt deepens.
How I supposed.
Does his whispered, "Please summon the darkness" hinted at by the cat eye? The morning drill collapses into uneasy silence as swords lower, bruised egos simmering. The hidden cat eye artifact glints, hinting at Kieran's curse. The cost, trust erodes, danger stalk. In the chaotic sunrise field, the Lord bellows up, unleashing a torrent of steel that shatters the trainee's confidence, while hidden cat eye glints expose Kieran's curse. Mick's pride crumbles as his blade misses, exposing his ribs, while Irene's defiant silence fuels her resolve, leaving the trainee's trust fraying under the Lord's impossible deadline. The looming year-end vow hangs over the field, and the cursed cat eye flickers, promising a deadly revelation that could doom the Lord or empower the rebels.
Sometimes you have to become a monster to kill one. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
The city burned behind me, but the hunt just began. Iron stands before the enigmatic guru, lungs burning, the air pressing like cold stone. He plants his feet, eyes alight, daring the encroaching darkness to shatter. Iron craves solitary mastery over his blade, yet the guru's voice slices the silence, demanding unwavering loyalty. Iron's pupils flare, heart drums like war drums. His mind reels at the sudden command.
What? Did you hear me? I said, be my disciple.
His grip on the hilt hardens. Will he swallow the bait or defy the summons? The guru's aura crackles, a silent threat that tightens the air.
The guru reaches to open a path, yet Iron's doubt still clouds his vision. She whispers, perhaps, her gaze narrowing, planting a fragile seed of possibility that nudges his resolve.
Perhaps.
That single word may ignite his dormant power. Will it be enough to spark the within? A distant thunder rumbles, echoing the uncertainty in his heart. Iron pleads for the guru to unlock the cipher of his dreams, but the mystic veil hangs heavy, blocking his path. He begs for insight, and her stare hardens, signaling a trial that could shatter or forge him. Iron steps back, realizing his attempt yielded nothing as the aura fades like a dying ember. Frustration roils, but he steadies his stance, vowing another try. Yet the looming shadow of the Southern Union expedition waits.
I'm back to square one.
What new threat looms beyond the southern horizon? The wind carries a distant war drum, heralding the expedition. Iron claws at his own breath, demanding his aura rise again. His mind still tangled from the guru's words. He forces a pulse, but the energy sputters, leaving him empty-handed. The emptiness gnaws. Will he find the spark to reignite his power? A faint ember glows at his fingertips, barely alive. The guru meets his stare, insisting innocence. She claims she could not have acted, fearing accusation. Iron doubts, his resolve hardening. The air grows colder, suspicion sharpening.
She may not have done anything, young master.
Yet silence hides what words cannot reveal. A faint scent of incense lingers, masking truth. Iron studies the guru's calm aura, noting her innocent facade. He acknowledges the mystic could be blameless, yet a shadow lingers. He steels himself to test her limits.
That innocent mystic may be innocent, however.
Iron hesitates, then drops a single, but trying to carve a gap in the argument. But the guru's gaze holds him captive, refusing to let the conversation move forward.
But
will that single word be enough to break the deadlock? A faint echo of his own breath fills the void. Iron clings to the idea they can survive together, yet whispers that the black cat still spreads misfortune, threatening to shatter any alliance. The threat looms, darkening his resolve.
even together, the black cat still spreads misfortune.
Will the black cat's curse doom their fragile alliance? The cat's eyes glow crimson, a warning. Iron hurls a daring challenge, exposing the guru's deceit while brandishing the black cat omen, forcing a deadly verbal duel that threatens both their fates. The air crackles with tension as accusations flare. Iron's confession shatters his pride, granting fragile allies trust while sealing his own guilt, as rumors swirl and his resolve teeters on the edge of collapse. A cold wind sweeps through, scattering whispers of doubt. Irene eyes the claimed treasure, unaware that the black cat's curse looms, ready to strike the alliance the moment Iron's bravado cracks. The cat's tail flicks, a silent omen of impending doom.
Embrace the chaos. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
The city burns, and the clock ticks down. Lena watches the grand hall, waiting. She knows the Viscount will stride in, blind to the Baron's silent scheming. Doors slam shut, danger crackles. Baron Bauer fixes his gaze on the Viscount, hungry for his family's trade-pact approval. Rivalry simmers beneath his calm voice. He steps forward, declares a warm welcome, while the chandelier shivers.
Welcome, Viscount Gyruin.
Amid glittering chandeliers, Lena craves a human touch, but strict etiquette suffocates conversation. She slips to Hama, eyes bright, whispers a genuine greeting. Hama nods, then his stare turns icy.
Hama, it's good to see you.
Gyruin lifts his goblet, thanking each lord for sacrificing precious hours to guard the southern trade route. His gratitude fuels a brief glow of unity before old doubts flicker back.
Thank you for safeguarding the southern trade route's prosperity.
The hall hums with clinking glasses and muted strings. Beneath polite chatter, Iron's hands tremble, his mind replaying his parents' hardships, while the nobles stare, waiting for the next move. Gyruin raises his voice, proclaiming for the peace. As nobles raise their cups, the toast seals a fragile truce, yet every glance still hides a blade ready to strike.
For the peace.
Iron watches the Baron sneer, wanting to avoid scandal. Baron Russell nods, testing Iron's willingness to learn. Yet lingering shame hinders his confidence. Russell whispers a brief acknowledgement, urging him onward. Iron steadies his hand, feeling a fragile hope ignite. Iron stands at the banquet table, yearning to appear dignified. The aristocrat's scrutinizing gazes freeze him. He forces a steady hand on his glass. The room's tension sharpens, hinting at conflict. Baron Lester steps forward, intent on exposing Iron's ignorance. Iron hopes to dodge ridicule, yet his lack of basic noble knowledge anchors him. The Baron snarls a cutting question, deepening Iron's shame.
How is it, Irene? You cannot answer basic noble knowledge.
Will Iron finally confront his knowledge gap before the swords clash? Baron Russell erupts, blaming Iron's laziness for his family's ruin. Iron longs to defend his parents, yet the accusation pins him. His throat tightens as the crowd gasps, sealing his disgrace.
The duel erupts, swords flash, metal screams. Iron darts forward, meeting the opponent's blade head-on. Sparks erupt. His forearm shreds under the strike, blood spurting crimson. Does the wound cripple him or fuel his fury? He stands, blood dripping, eyes locked on the Barons. Their smirks falter. Whispers ripple through the hall. Iron's defiant stance forces a silent truce, yet tension lingers. What price will the fragile peace demand from him now? The banquet hall glitters. Viscount Gyruin strides in, escorted by guards. Iron eyes the elite, craving acceptance, but stiff etiquette blocks his approach. He forces a polite bow, drawing silent judgment. Iron steadies himself, desperate to show he belongs among the southern lords. The haughty Baron eyes him, questioning his presence. Iron forces a polite nod, feeling every whispered doubt.
What? You really are here?
The room holds its breath, waiting for Iron's next move. Iron lifts his sword, hoping his posture proves training. The Baron smirks, mocking his lack of academy pedigree. Iron swallows pride, aware the crowd watches his every move.
Whoa, your stance is impressive. Did you lie about attending the Swordsmanship Academy?
A sharp chuckle ripples, daring Iron to answer. The young lords of Leicester, Kevin, and Caesar grow restless, bored by idle chatter. Iron finally draws his trembling sword as Baron Russell demands an immediate duel. The chamber erupts with the clatter of steel, the whispered Seventh Family Pact hanging in the air. He risks his honor and the Southern Trade Pact, shame melting into fierce resolve as every baron's jeer threatens to shatter his fragile reputation. The blade hovers inches from the baron's throat, yet the unseen seventh family threat looms, promising a deadly revelation that could upend the entire noble alliance.
Don't let the algorithm decide if you see the next chapter. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry and take control.
The flames sputter out, but the fire of revenge still burns. Luff fixes his gaze on the seasoned swordsman, desperate for proof that a single year of training can eclipse the veteran's arrogant sneer. He lunges forward, blade humming with newly forged power, daring the challenger's provocation. Will the veteran bite?
Ha! Azura's owns.
Luff clenches his fist, daring the duel to ignite. Luff strives to showcase his fresh technique, yet the veteran's icy stare freezes his confidence. He darts forward, blades slicing the air, and sparks erupt as steel clashes, a harsh echo of danger. What will the seasoned swordsman's next move unveil? The veteran's eyes narrow, scheming his counter. Luff eyes the next challenger, craving proof of his growth. The veteran hesitates, fearing another defeat. Luff steps forward, sword poised, demanding the duel continue.
Who next?
Will the veteran finally accept Luff's challenge, or will he slip into another excuse? The veteran yells, "Wait, that doesn't count," trying to nullify Luff's last strike. Luff's fury sharpens, he forces a clean hit, demanding acknowledgement.
Wait. That doesn't count. Doesn't count? Why not?
Will Luff's decisive blow finally silence the veteran's protests? The veteran bellows, "I said start, you coward!" as Luff's sudden attack catches him off guard. Luff steadies, refusing to be shamed, ready to finish.
I did say start. Yav.
Luff summons every ounce of forged fury, shouting a promise to shatter the veteran's cowardice. Your pride will crumble, the blade arcs, destiny hanging in the air. Will Luff's strike finally silence the veteran's taunts?
Your 1113 M9 Nyok, crush him. Crush him to Isilg.
Luff aims to pierce the veteran's guard, but the blade slides off, sparking irritation. He snarls, "You wretch, but why?" losing his rhythm as the veteran steadies his stance.
Yav wretch. But why?
Luff steadies his stance after the clash, craving the veteran's acceptance. The veteran demands acknowledgement, and Luff's breath hitches, but he forces a calm nod, signaling he grasps the stakes.
I understand.
Can that fragile understanding survive the next blow? The veteran flashes a grin, mocking Luff's fresh confidence. Luff aims to ignore the jeers, but the sarcasm rattles his nerves. He tightens his grip, letting the blade speak louder than words. Luff watches the veteran's eyes narrow, then close, as if sealing his focus. He wonders why the veteran shudders his sight now. Confusion rattles his confidence, but curiosity sharpens his resolve. He tightens his grip, ready for the unknown move.
Ha! He closed.
Luff lunges, daring the veteran to retreat, his voice shattering with fury. He forces the opponent to halt his mind games, exposing a brief opening. He grips his sword, poised to strike.
Done freaking with me. Urge.
The arena freezes, everyone wondering if Luff will finally claim his first strike. Luff's resolve cracks as the veteran's grin widens, doubts surge, yet he refuses to bow, shouting his refusal, risking disgrace. He tightens his grip, bracing for the veteran's sudden counter.
I can't accept th-.
A tense silence follows, and the next move could decide Luff's fate. Luff's blade flashes, shattering the veteran's cryptic grin, and exposing a fleeting opening that could end the duel with a single, decisive strike. Luff risks his honor and the arena's respect, yet refuses to bow, channeling fury into a resolve that could redeem his shattered reputation. The veteran's widening grin hints at a deeper game, and as Luff steadies his grip, an unseen threat looms, leaving the outcome terrifyingly uncertain.
When the system gives you a hidden quest, you take it. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
Flames devour the skyline, yet a single chance remains.
Darts through suffocating ash, eyes locked on the cursed blade that might rescue her brother. Enemy soldiers close in, hot breath on her neck. She lunges, steel fractures, shards scatter like dying stars. Hope flickers, then falters. Brother lost? This can't be real.
With the blade shattered, Can she still shift destiny? Dorian erupts toward Arya, racing against the crushing tide of foes. No sword remains, only jagged metal fragments. He snatches a shard, drives it into a charging enemy's throat. Crimson erupts, searing his palm. The bladeless duo stare at the looming surge. Dorian approaches, his stare fixed on Arya's shaking hands, a fierce grin spreading. He commands her to mask terror with bravado, urging a counterfeit swagger in the midst of battle.
Yeah, be as confident as possible.
Will this feigned confidence shift the battle? Arya thrusts a concealed dagger into Dorian's palm, murmuring urgency, then commands him to feign indifference, amplifying a casual demeanor as foes glance. Dorian swallows the blade, poised to shift the battle.
Sir Stuart, please take this.
Will this hidden dagger tip the scales? Arya lunges at a charging foe, her blade resonating with stolen power. Yet the blow misses, the weapon snapping into two shards. Sir Stuart plants his boots, intent on preserving the strategy amid growing dissent. Council murmurs challenge his resolve. He proclaims, "I will not stand for changes," then delivers a terse apology, tightening the tension.
I will not stand for changes. Keep that in mind. Apologize.
Will his inflexible stance ignite rebellion, or solidify his authority? Arya darts forward, gripping her brother's broken sword, while Sir Stuart raises a shield against a hail of arrows. She pushes to reforge the blade, yet the metal fractures once more, exposing her flank. Will a hidden ally surge to their rescue? Sir Stuart strides forward, eyes ablaze, demanding acknowledgement as the eldest young lord among the Pereira heirs. She sprints forward, rolling over broken stone, wielding debris as a shield. Enemy swords has passed. She delivers a swift kick, toppling a combatant. One foe collapses, but her breathing accelerates, fatigue biting. Can she outrun the wave of attackers? The clash reverberates, a deafening echo across the courtyard. Irene conjures a flash of mystic belief, channeling it into her palm. The surge breaks the enemy's guard, leaving him staggered. Does this power demand a price she cannot afford? She vaults over crumbling walls, cradling her brother, racing toward the distant gate. Debris cascades, sealing the passage behind them, boxing in the remaining foes. With the commander staggered, Irene and Stuart press forward, ripping down the iron gate. The door crashes, unveiling a dark courtyard teeming with enemies. Their push drives foes back, yet blood pools, constricting their exit. How far can they flee before the odds overwhelm them? A towering silhouette emerges from the shadows, sword drawn, eyes locked on Irene. The figure reveals a familiar smirking face. Lord Kaldor's assassin, heralding a final duel. The battlefield holds its breath as peril intensifies. Who will survive this lethal confrontation? Irene observes his family huddled in the dim hall, fearing mockery after his brother's loss. He refuses to let their shame become a weapon, his determination solidified.
Irene seeks to demonstrate his effort to the mystic master, trembling hands betraying doubt. The master observes his wavering stance, then nods, acknowledging his genuine struggle.
No, what you're doing right now is definitely effort.
Irene questions whether this recognition will unlock hidden power. Driven to master mystic arts, Irene faces his current limits, haunted by past failures. He asks the master if his present self can ascend.
Then can the current me learn mystic arts?
The master's gaze flickers, suggesting an unseen trial. The master fixes his gaze, sensing Irene's resolve echoing in the air. He grants permission, unveiling the path of belief.
You can.
Irene's frustration rises. The guru leans in, voice low, proposing superstition as the simplest path. Irene's thoughts race, weighing ancient rumors. Irene clenches his fists. Can belief genuinely supplant skill? Irene's skepticism sharpens. The guru smiles, stressing that even a baseless rumor creates belief, the essence of mystic arts.
Yes. Like a rumor lacking proof. Yet that itself is belief, and nothing matters more in mystic arts.
Irene yearns for a shortcut to secure his family's safety. The ceremony demands a self-sacrifice he cannot endure. He spurns the ritual, turning to mystic arts, risking uncharted mastery.
Irene snatches the guru's bespoke technique, a rite that could shield his family, and charges toward the looming subjugation ceremony, defying fate with raw desperation. He grasps a glimmer of hope to rescue his kin, sacrificing his pride, bearing the crushing weight of possible sacrifice and the dread of unknown power. He stands upon the precipice, the ceremony's drums reverberating, as darkness watches, leaving his mastery, and his soul's fate dangling in peril.
He didn't just beat him, he humbled him. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari for the aftermath. Flames devour the city, yet my purpose burns brighter. Each slash tightens the cursed contract that has drained 10 days of my life. I clutch the sword, recalling a decade of silence, and feel my heart ignite with fierce resolve. A sharp exhale rattles my trembling muscles. My family's 10-year hope presses like a stone on my chest. Every breath gnaws at the memory of my former cowardice, forcing me to confront the legacy I must now bear. The determined apprentice charges forward, eyes blazing, demanding a true pact. He declares the training a binding contract, forcing the noble to deliver 1,000 earnest strikes each day.
Let's call it a contract.
Doubt swirls, whispering, could it be? A flicker of hope or deeper dread. I steady my stance, eyes narrowing, willing my spirit to answer the half-formed query.
Could it be?
What truth lurks behind that unfinished thought? The weight of wasted years presses my chest. My family's 10-year weight fuels a gnawing ache. I slam the sword down, demanding proof.
Am I only wasting my time?
Will the blade's echo finally answer my silent plea? My voice cracks as I call, Irene. Confidence trembles like a frightened cat. Irene watches, eyes sharp, her silence heavy. She steps forward, extending a quiet promise. I recall Irene's jab, hundreds of pebbles in a valley. I laugh, admit she was wrong, and feel a surge of resolve to become more than scattered stone.
I was wrong about the pebbles.
Can this resolve shatter the valley of doubt? I try to lock my mind onto the sword contract, but a vivid image of a sapphire Kirin erupts, scattering my focus. I shout the line, forcing my thoughts back, yet the distraction lingers. Will it shatter my resolve?
Kirin is a sapphire. Them.
Tension tightens as my resolve hangs by a thread. I strive to convince myself I'm still capable, yet my self-deprecating cat persona claws at my confidence. I force myself to pull together, muscles tightening as if bracing against a storm. My goal: channel focus into a single strike. Restless thoughts gnaw my mind. I grip the hilt, breath shallow. Resolve flickers, not yet steady. Will my trembling grip become a steady hand? I admit that without my family's creed, I'd never have imagined wielding a blade. My goal: confirm my personal drive. The obstacle: lingering belief I merely echo lineage. I claim my own resolve. A true ownership spark ignites. Does my family's creed still shadow my own will? I realize only now do I consider drawing a sword by my own will. My goal: prove my choice is self-driven. Irene declares she'll remain at the forge until my heart stabilizes. She seeks a breakthrough, yet the unknown timeline stalls my resolve, so she stakes her future on my progress, binding us to an endless grind.
I train here until you're finally satisfied. Our pact tightens the air, promising growth while chaining us to relentless practice.
The promise hangs heavy, a clock without hands. I crave release, yet no one knows when my heart will cool enough, so my future stalls, and every breath costs another day of doubt. The unanswered timing looms, and the next trial may finally break, or finally bind me forever. Irene anchors herself to the furnace, channeling searing mystic fire into my heart, forcing the volatile blaze to collapse into a fragile, cooling ember. I clutch the sword's hilt, feeling a flicker of hope ignite while guilt over past curses weighs my soul, and Irene sacrifices her future for my uncertain breakthrough. The forge's glow deepens as night threatens to swallow us, and no one knows when my heart finally steadies, leaving my fate hanging on a dying ember.
Save hours of reading. Get the full story in minutes. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
The fortress burned, and I found the queen's dagger. He blinks in a void, skin prickling with strange fabric. He craves a clue, reaches for the lingering wish spark, twists, confirming a pocket realm born from his desire. A dark silhouette looms, eyes cold as iron. The figure blocks his questions with silent judgment. He yells, demanding answers. The shadow steps forward, revealing a future version of himself, eyes burning with challenge. The test begins. Determination fuels his grip on the blade despite a gut-deep fatigue. His hand trembles, the sword feels like lead, but he drives it forward. Each slash reverberates, the count climbs, while numbness crawls up his right arm. The trainee craves 1,000 swings before dusk, yet his lungs burn and joints ache. He steadies his breath, matches each strike to his heartbeat, feeling stamina climb despite the relentless grind. He asks how many more swings his body can endure. The trainee aims to break his ceiling, yet cold numbness spreads up his right arm, threatening paralysis. He pauses, flexes his fingers, then clenches his fist, refusing surrender, forcing the realm to test his resolve. He wonders if his stubbornness will shatter the pocket or shatter him. The trainee demands the final surge, yet his muscles scream and his hand trembles. The trainee tries to voice his determination, but his tongue sticks, a stutter spilling from his cracked throat. He clenches his fist, feeling tremor spread, fearing collapse.
Stutter N.
He wonders if the next word will be his final command. He stops, remembering a name he'll need. The trainee eyes the glowing sigil, craving mastery. He reaches for the mystic arts, but arcane symbols blur. Raw power surges as his resolve sharpens.
Wow, so this is mystic arts.
He wonders if this wonder will become his weapon or his downfall. The trainee commands wind, whispering a fragmentary chant, hoping the breeze obeys. Cryptic words stumble, but gusts erupt, rattling his cloak and scattering dust. The trainee vows to outdo yesterday's swings, targeting 3,000 today. His trembling hand shakes, yet he forces each strike, shouting numbers.
Since I swung 2,000 times yesterday, I'll swing 3,000 times today, comma.
He wonders if he can keep the pace. The trainee eyes the next milestone, eyes burning. Numbness spreads, but he refuses to stop, counting each slash. He wonders if his body will finally betray him. The trainee claws at the edge of endurance, feeling his right hand deadening. He forces another swing, shouting, blood pulsing in his temples. He wonders if he can survive this self-imposed torment. Numbness creeps up his right hand, warning that tomorrow's drills could falter. He steadies the blade, weighing the cost of pushing through the pain. He wonders if his hand will hold out for the next decisive strike. He slams the sword down, declares the day over, and steps back, letting exhaustion finally claim the training floor as night descends. He wonders what tomorrow's sunrise will bring for his relentless pursuit. The trainee forces his eyes open, demanding answers. His goal. Confirm this is his wish-crafted prison. Disorientation clouds his mind. Strange garb adds doubt. The void, recalling the wish. Realization hits. The realm is his endless training ground. The trainee forces his eyes open, discovers the pocket realm is his self-imposed prison, and hurls his blade against the void, attempting to shatter the unseen barrier that cages his sword. He risks losing his remaining strength and the chance to reclaim his weapon, while his numb hand threatens betrayal, yet his resolve burns brighter than exhaustion. With his hand trembling and the empty hilt just beyond reach, the void hums ominously, leaving the fate of his sword and his very existence hanging on the next sunrise.
Your time is valuable. I won't waste it. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
White grips his son's fading dream, a swordsman's destiny. Dark symbols swirl, memories fragment. He forces his will into the chaos, striking a bloodline thread that ties their fates together. The link ignites, pulling his purpose forward. Kai steps onto cursed ground, eyes blazing with resolve. He vows to forge a blade of his own. The vanished swordsman's absence leaves a hollow void. Above, the sky shatters, threatening total collapse. Kai roars his intent, demanding the chaos to heed him. Kai watches his past replay in a brutal loop. Stubborn swings strike nothing, each blow meaningless. A year of effort crumbles to ash. Iron lunges for the mystic pact, forcing his hand to seal a glowing blade as Irene blocks his path. A faint luminescence coalesces into Ilya's form, promising a weapon that might halt the world's collapse. The air trembles, suspense sharpens. Iron's resolve shatters under the weight of the desperate pact. His spirit splinters, heart aching, yet he clutches a sliver of power that could redeem his shattered identity. Hope flickers amid the ruin. The veil between realms trembles, Ilya's hidden presence flickers, and Irene's demanded promise hangs unresolved. The sealed blade threatens a cruel price, as the world teeters on the brink of annihilation.
You ask for the best. I deliver. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
The ruins shatter, exposing a cruel grin on the enemy's face. The warrior clenches his jaw, the earth quakes beneath his boots, and he knows this duel will seal his family's destiny. Ignoring bone-splintering fatigue, he thrusts forward, charging the looming darkness beyond the broken stones. Who will still stand when the shadows swallow the light? The warrior's lungs burn like furnace coals, his chest aches with each ragged breath. He forces a shallow gasp, claws at his throat, and drives his blade forward, buying precious seconds before his body gives out. The next strike could be the one that decides everything. The caretaker steadies him, eyes scanning his trembling form. She urges him to regain balance before collapse. Muscles still quake, blood pounds. She whispers, "Good, you're a lot more stable today than before," fueling his resolve. Yet fatigue claws deeper.
Good. You're a lot more stable today than before.
Will this newfound stability be enough for the final test? He pushes forward, muscles screaming. He wants to finish the duel before darkness swallows him. Vertigo spins, legs wobble. He gasps, "Hup!" Lurches, nearly topples, but claws cling to the stone, buying precious seconds. Realization crashes like a blade. His earlier pride blindsided him. He lowers his head, confessing the error that almost cost everything.
I was mistaken.
The confession draws a cold breath from the crowd, as the mysterious challenger steps forward, eyes fixed on Brett. He gasps, muscles screaming, but refuses to bear the weight alone. Exhaustion threatens collapse. He shouts, "There's no need for me to struggle alone." Allies step forward, sharing the burden. The tide shifts, but his body still trembles. The guru's voice pierces his haze, urging him to trust his comrades. He craves reassurance, but pride blocks acceptance. He forces a breath, feels allies' eyes, steadies briefly, yet exhaustion lingers.
Stay focused, allies watch.
Brett keeps disciplined distance, aiming to create the perfect opening. The opponent rushes forward. Brett refuses to close. The warrior spots the gap, thrusts forward, landing a clean hit as the foe overreaches.
Distance wins, strike now.
A shadow parts, revealing a lone female challenger, eyes cold, sword humming. She declares the next trial. The warrior's pulse spikes, tension crackles, hinting at rivalry and something deeper. The training ground stone glows under his palm, memories of his past life surge. The stone flashes, carving 566 each day in blood. He wants to surpass every limit. Magic strains, sensing his fatigue. He hammers his fist into the rune, burning his skin. Resolve flares, but a whisper follows.
He thrusts forward, his blade carving a bright arc across the courtyard as the old training ground awakens beneath his feet. He recalls the echo of his past life, each strike resonating like a promise to his fallen house. Luna flares a protective rune, while Garrick shouts tactical orders, tightening the formation. The sudden arrival of a cloaked female challenger freezes the arena, her eyes locking onto his.
He clutches his ribs, lungs burning, desperate to stay upright. He needs to finish the duel before his body gives out. Fatigue pins his limbs, yet he forces a step forward, risking collapse. Will his trembling arm still find the enemy's guard? He exhales a ragged hue, lungs screaming. He wants a breath of air, but the arena's heat chokes him. He forces the gasp, buying seconds, but the pain deepens. Can that shallow breath fuel his next strike? He recalls the ancient sword's place, where his past self fell. The memory aches like a wound, yet it pushes him, wondering how much he's changed, seeking growth in the echo. He feels the weight of expectation crushing his chest. He wants to withdraw, fearing the unknown. The trainer's stare pierces him, blocking retreat. He snaps no, stepping away, muscles trembling. The arena holds its breath, waiting. Does his refusal seal his doom or buy him a moment's grace?
He clamps his trembling hands around the hilt, longing for control. Fatigue gnaws his joints, threatening collapse. He forces his grip, lifts the blade, steel singing. A silent promise echoes as the crowd leans forward. What will the first clash reveal about his battered resolve? A shadow detaches from the crowd, gliding toward him. His pulse hammers, fearing a deadly foe. He clashes with the icy-eyed challenger, his blade humming as he slashes her forearm, a radiant fu blooming on the steel, igniting the arena with sudden, fierce light. Hope surges as the newfound power steadies his trembling body, but the relentless cold sears his muscles, threatening collapse and forcing him to confront his own limits. The challenger's eyes flash with hidden fury, her next move cloaked in shadows, leaving his fate hanging on a blade-thin thread as the crowd's prayers echo unanswered.
The lore runs deeper than you think. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry to uncover all of it.
Walls collapse, bullets spent. Soldiers pour into the courtyard, swords drawn, panic raging. A cloaked figure emerges, blade glinting ominously. What darkness lurks within that shining edge? The scout sweeps the chaos, hunting proof of the noble's sudden shift. Fog of confusion clouds his view, so he bellows, demanding attention. A concealed foe sneers from the shadow.
Did you hear that? Yeah, he changed.
Can the noble's new aura swing the battle? The warrior charges, demanding the cheeky foe's arrival. Doubt gnaws him, then a snarling voice roars, "Silence! Draw your sword!" He unsheathes amid mounting tension, enemy silhouette looming. A second foe shouts, "Suras! Smash!" Hejun must act swiftly. The enemy thrusts a lightning-charged blade. He summons a brief mystic pulse, deflects the strike, and erupts a shockwave that hurls the attacker back, though his arms throb.
Suras! Smash!
Can his fleeting pulse endure the next assault? A cry Volmol echoes. Hejun seeks triumph, but his broken blade fails. He channels pure will, forging a glowing sword from resolve. The weapon ignites, yet the exertion drains his vitality, dimming his vision.
Volmol!
Will the newly forged blade endure before his life fades? Exhausted, Hejun grips the ethereal blade as his pulse wanes.
Lord Guan smirks from the shadows, laughter echoing off stone. He snarls, "Ha-ha! Not the 11th, I see through you," brandishing a cursed sigil that pulses ominously.
Ha ha! Not the 11th, I see through you.
The sigil erupts, scorching the ground. Does Hejun have the strength to survive this betrayal? Hejun lunges at the swarm, desperate to pierce its shimmering barrier. The energy mass pushes back, threatening to crush his resolve. He channels his newly learned parry, slashing through the veil. A hidden foe watches the breach. He steadies his stance, breath shallow, eyes scanning the still pulsing barrier. Fatigue claws his muscles, but the promise of mastery drives him. He waits, sensing the opponent's next surge.
Hejun seeks proof his swordsmanship reborn. Fatigue clings to his limbs. He gasps, asking, "Will I prove my swordsmanship?" Judith's faint smile hints mastery beyond his reach.
Performing my swordsmanship? Gasp.
Will his next strike reveal the hidden technique? He demands confirmation of the parry method. Doubt gnaws his confidence. He blurts, "That defense technique you used was Brett, right?" Judith nods, confirming the mysterious skill.
That defense technique you used to parry my attack just now was Brett, right?
Now he must replicate the Brett move before darkness returns. Hejun yearns to decode the impossible. His mind storms with questions. He watches the faint glow linger on Judith's palm, realizing her power still slumbers. His voice cuts through silence, urging her to awaken the mystic arts that bind them.
Judith, you should awaken mystic arts too.
Can she rise to match his relentless drive, or will her hesitation shatter their bond? Frustration erupts, fists trembling as he shouts, rejecting counsel that doubts his self-made path. The echo ricochets, freezing Judith mid-step, tension snapping like a drawn bow. Hejun eyes the locked gate. He wants out now, but lingering enchantments still bind it. He channels the parry technique, slams his blade, shattering the seal. The crack reverberates, alerting hidden watchers.
I think I'm ready to get out of here, Mon.
The sudden noise promises a confrontation waiting beyond the broken barrier. He craves tomorrow's sunrise battle, yet exhaustion drags his limbs, doubts gnaw his confidence. He forces breath, plants feet, visualizes victory, and feels iron resolve surge.
I hope tomorrow comes soon.
The distant clang hints the next trial looms. He steps into the dim corridor, cold stone biting his boots, while a faint hum of lingering magic brushes his ears. Heijun shatters the enchanted gate with his parry, unleashing blinding light that reveals a hidden corridor, while a concealed steel trap snaps shut around him. His newfound resolve fuels hope, yet the bleeding wound and snapping traps strip his confidence, forcing him to confront the brutal cost of power. From the darkness, Lord Guan's emissary materializes, eyes glinting with malice, leaving Heijun trapped between a collapsing gate and an unseen assassin, his fate hanging on a single breath.
Unlocking the ultimate tier is just the beginning. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.